Back in the 1960s, the plastic surgeon named Maxwell Maltz finds something very, very strange. He'd fix someone's faces and remove scars and then reshape their nose, and then some of them start acting like outgoing and amazingly confident, just like that. But others, they still act very shy and insecure and are still very, very introverted. So this is when Maltz realized that if you don't change your inner image, the outer change actually doesn't make any difference. And he called it psycho-cybernetics, and he wrote a book about it. So this is essentially the mind's navigation system, a mental autopilot that always returns to your dominant self-image, no matter how far you try to run away from it. So if you secretly believe you're not enough, then your subconscious will make sure that you're right. The modern neuroscience backed him up with the proper study and the researchers. The RAS, the reticular activating system in your brain, filters 11 million bits of information per second, but it only lets in the particular information, which is the perfect match with your identity. That means if you think I'm unlucky, then this is exactly what you get, and your brain seeks the evidence to match with that belief so that you can experience exactly what you're thinking up in your mind. So if your identity says I am not confident, then your brain literally go and find information that matches with your identity, which is you're not confident. So it will ignore every other compliment and then all these great things that you should realize and you should receive. It's going to be deleted, distorted, and then generalized by the filter up in your mind. So this is the reason why 99% of the people get stuck and self-sabotage, because consciously they're looking for, more money. I want to manifest more money, I want to manifest more abundance, and I want to be a better version of myself. But then up in your mind, it automatically finding the reason and evidence that you're not worthy, that you're not confident, that you cannot do it. The worst part, that system and that subconscious programming is so strong that you cannot outperform your subconscious. But hear me out. There's one way, this is the only possibility or only way for us to rewire the code up in your mind. It's not affirmation, or it's not about fake it till you make it bullshit, but through an actual deep emotional rehearsal. And that, my friend, is called hypnosis. And hypnosis is a reprogramming. And that's what we're about to do right now in this video. Listen, you don't need more discipline, you don't need another strategy or another marketing plan or another employee in your company, but what you need is a new identity. Because every thoughts and emotions and actions and literally mental decision up in your mind, there's hundreds of mental decisions and hundreds of physical action that you automatically do. Everything is coming from your identity. The identity literally curate the desire as well as the pattern and an expected result in your reality. And therefore, there's a specific action plan that's already planned up in your mind. So if you change your subconscious in identity level, everything that follows the identity will change automatically. But in other words, if you don't change that deepest part, the core part of your subconscious, which is your identity, nothing will be changed. It's almost like even though you haven't taken a shower for 5 days and then you're adding another perfume and then you still stink. And this is the reason why you cannot outperform or outwork your subconscious belief system as well as your identity. Because your subconscious doesn't follow your effort or how much work you put into it. It follows beliefs, it follows system. It's almost like an operation system up in your laptop. So instead of chasing success and money and girls and cars, just be a successful person. Be an abundant person in an identity level. Listen, this is not about, I am successful. It's like my identity changed. That's not how it works. When I transformed myself from this struggling coach or, not a leader, just another guy on Instagram, to a leader with a mission, a leader with powerful alchemy to help people's lives. And this is when everything changed. And materialistically speaking, yes, my income went from 10K per month stuck, 10 to 15K I was stuck for 12 months. My income didn't grow. I've changed marketing, I've changed copywriter, I've changed the business, I've changed everything. I've tried everything, spent thousands of dollars. Nothing has happened. Quite literally, it was interesting to actually see how your mind creates your reality. And then I experienced it myself painfully right? And then I came back to a point where I need to really focus on my mind because I've done all this external work. Funny enough, I was in this trap of marketing gurus, right? And then if you watch YouTube and then your marketing sucks, you have to change this and this and that. And then I was so focused on these external strategies. It seems fancy and it sounds good. So I was like, just reading another marketing book and then watching another marketing guru's YouTube and then buying courses, joining coaching, and nothing had happened. Interestingly, nothing happened. I was still stuck at 10K per month. However, when I created that internal shift, because I realized that I was too focused on external. So I stepped back and I realized my self-image was so low and weak, I didn't believe, or I didn't even think unconsciously that I am worthy of making millions of dollars. So deep down, I acted like I'm confident. I did fake until you make it. And I did all the affirmations and consciously saying all these things, but deep down I was still the same person. And then I really focused on my self-image every single day. And this is the only thing I focused, self-image every single day. And then after 3 months of doing that, finally something that just shined on me. And then my income went 10K to 50K per month. And then after 6 months, finally I cracked my biggest goal, which was 100K per month. But that was like a year ago. And here's a tip, because when you're making that change, you feel like nothing is working, or like you don't see the result right in front of your face. So you kind of get panicked, or it's very easy for all of us to fall back because it's comfortable. We all know the past and everything that we went through, as well as your identity, right? So that's why this is difficult. The most difficult thing in your life is not making money. It's not 10xing your income. It's not, getting all this stuff in your life and traveling to Bali right now. This is not my house or anything. I'm traveling to Bali. I'm about to run a seminar for entrepreneurs tomorrow. But the most difficult thing that you can face in your life is to change yourself. Because your identity up to today, it's so familiar, right? You feel so comfortable being this version of you. Because how do you define yourself? Well, I am Nemoto, I'm Japanese, I speak 2 different languages, and I'm only child, and I do this, I'm a coach, and then I, make contents. So 99.9999% of your identity comes from the past. So what does it mean? It means you define yourself as what happened, or what you heard, or what your parents told you, or what you were surrounded by when you're a child. As a matter of fact, at 0 to 7 years old, you are in trance and as well as in a theta state. So in the first 7 years of our life, we're just downloading all these informations to construct who we are. And then along the way, we start to see ourselves, me. This is self, this is show. So that's why this is such a challenging work, and it's not easy, because you kind of like letting go everything you know and everything that makes you you. But here's the thing, you're stepping into a new chapter, and there's something that you need to let go. There's something that you're attached to it, but that is exactly why you're not successful as you wish to be. That's why you're not making the money you want to have, and that's why you're not living the life that you want to live, because you just feel too good in the past. And then now it's time to let go, and now it's time to step into as a new version of you, a new person. See, instead of like looking back and like feeling sad and nostalgic, about the past, get excited what's coming, get excited what's new for you. And what hit me the most is that the reality is like a mirror. It doesn't give you what you want, it gives you you. In Zen, they say the moon doesn't try to shine, it just simply reflects the sun. When your consciousness expands, your image becomes divine again. You stop fighting your shadows, but you start to remembering who you truly are. That version of you that existed before fear, before trauma, before all this conditioned, that environment and society did that to you. And that's who you really are. So let me ask you something. Do you want to keep being who you have been, or do you want to be who you really want to be? Remembering who you are, the divine within you, as well as worthy and so confident and so abundant. You can make so much money. You can be a superstar, best public speaker, inspiring so many people, sharing with so many people, and then helping so many people. And then you can be that person. But you have to let go of who you have been, because that version of you from the past, the version of you right now, who you are right now, is not that person. So you have to accept it and now take that shit off. You don't need it anymore, because you need something better for you, something more exciting, something more abundant and confident and authentic. So I'm going to literally change your self-image right now with the hypnosis. And this is one of the best hypnosis I ever found and designed in my life. And it was funny because I've done so many hypnosis and I've experimented with more than 1,000 people and how this mind works and how I can go deep into their minds to really change their code in the subconscious so that we can create this transformation in identity level. And as I said in this video, if you change your identity, your reality will change everything, because again, it gives you you. So let's make sure you're not driving a car or anything, or using any dangerous machine or anything, because hypnosis, you might go deep. Okay, so that would be a little bit dangerous. So that's why make sure you're comfortable, you're sitting comfortably, or maybe laying down. Okay, so make sure you're comfortable, absolutely comfortable. So let me explain how it works. I'm going to do sleep. Okay, snap my fingers, and if I say sleep, then you're not going to go for sleep. You actually close your eyes, and then your body and mind relax, and then you go into the deep trance. The trance is called alternative state of consciousness, and then you, as a matter of fact, 99% you're in trance. So when I take you to a trance, that's a hypnotic trance. Okay, so pretty much it's very relaxing, and then if you go into pretty deep, that's okay. So that's why I make sure you're comfortable, and then just follow my voice, and then just accept what I'm saying, and just when I say sleep, you close your eyes, and then you relax your body. All right, now I want you to look up in a high ceiling, just with your eyes, not like that, but then just like that, and then look up the high ceiling, okay? And then decide one spot that you want to look at, and just stare at that spot. Cool. So now, I want you to look at that one spot, and just focus on the one spot that you're looking at, and then notice that your eyelids are getting heavier and then heavier and then heavier. Now it's getting heavier and then heavier and then heavier. Now you start to feel the eyelids are getting heavier, and you start to blink faster. You have to blink more. And it's getting kind of sleepy eyes, and then relaxing. And now if you feel that, don't hesitate, don't resist. Just allow yourself to close your eyes and sleep all the way down, all the way deep. Now if I say sleep, you're going to trance, and then you genuinely feel relaxed and rested. And now have a deep breath in and out. Now feel the relaxation in your mind, feel the relaxation in your body. And again, realize that your eyelids are so heavy and so relaxed that you cannot open it. And now you realize that it's getting heavier and heavier and heavier every breath you take. And now it's completely stuck. You cannot even open it. And now if you accept that, go ahead and try it out. And now sleep all the way down, all the way deep. Now allow yourself to go deeper and deeper and deeper, 10 times deeper. And realize you feel so relaxed, and then you can focus on my sound of my voice. Imagine you're standing in front of you, and then you're seeing yourself. And there are so many armors, there are so many masks you're wearing, and this is basically your identity. And this can be, I'm not good enough, or I'm not worthy, or I'm not a business person, I'm not artist, I'm not creative. All these masks and insecurity that you have, creating this armor and the masks that you cannot even reach who you really are in the core. And notice which mask you're wearing and which armor you're wearing to protect yourself and to protect your inner child. And now one by one, I want you to take that off. One by one, like you're taking the scale off from the fish. It's one by one. And you start to feel lighter and lighter and lighter as you do so. And one by one, it's going away one by one, getting lighter and lighter and lighter. take them off, everything was completely gone from your body, and now you see yourself completely shining in a different energy, and then feeling amazing and smiling at you, and then radiating this beautiful, powerful energy, confidence, self-love, and abundance. And this version of you, this person that you're seeing right now, has everything you ever wanted: success, family, love, money, everything. And how does that person look like? And now I'm going to tell you to breathe in, and as you breathe in, and you breathe that person into your body, and then literally you start to feel that energy inside of you, the confidence and self-love and an abundance and a richness within you. Now have a deep breath in, and imagine that you're breathing that person into your body energetically, and it expands into the entire world. And now wide awake, open your eyes, and then you feel fantastic. And now you're ready to start a day, or you're ready to go for sleep. Now, make sure you're wide awake, you're completely out of the trance, feel great, you're fantastic, your self-image is completely different. And again, when you change your self-image, when you change your identity at deepest level, your reality changes. This is how I scaled my business, not the marketing, not the strategy. So if you're an entrepreneur feeling stuck or self-sabotaging with this income ceiling that you're experiencing right now, it could be 10K per month, 20K per month, and you want to hit 100K or 200K or even $1 million a month, then you have to reprogram your subconscious in identity level. So apply from the link in the description, and me and my team will speak to you and then explain exact formula that we use. All right, with that said, I genuinely hope my hypnosis helped. And if you really want to make a change, if you really want to grow fast and become the best version of yourself so that you don't waste the next 5-10 years, make sure you apply and then hit the subscribe button, notification bell, and it helps me so much because I can reach more people and then I can help more people and share this information. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.